She said that was very sweet of you.
Okay,
Hi, how are you?
Kathy, get out of the way.
Kathy, you literally walked out with the girl.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 14. And before we get into it, first things first, Kathy Hilton, no ma'am. I'm gonna tell you just like this. I am sick and tired of Kathy Hilton and this whole ditzy, I'm just so unaware, so oblivious, because it's all an act. It was funny when you first came on as a friend of the Who Is Hunky Dory. We all had a cute little chuckle, a cute little laugh, but now you have overstayed your welcome. What Kathy did at the fashion show was so obnoxious. I said, excuse me? That was unacceptable. And I'm not even gonna hold you. If that were my fashion show, I would have had security escort her out. Because I'm sorry, you're not gonna sit up there and try to steal the show. This is my day, it's my fashion show. Sit your behind down and enjoy. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not going back and forth in the comments either about, oh no, that's just Kathy. She just likes to joke around. Again, there's a time and a place. Learn how to read the room. But overall, it was a cute episode. I mean, nothing major happened. This episode definitely gave a little bit of filler. It was very much a little yin 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 around the house. Bonus points for you if you know that reference. But y'all, without further ado, let's just get right on into it because you guys already know that we don't have a minute to spare. We open up this episode with a few short scenes. We see Bo's at home having some tea with her daughter. Always cute to see them. Then we see Garcelle and her son Jade. They are getting Jade's comp card because he's a model now. So Garcelle is super excited. And I said, listen, I love to see the kids succeeding. And I think it's really cool to hear that Jade has a blossoming modeling career. So good for him. So now we see another short scene with Sutton at home. She's on FaceTime with her mom, Reba. She's excited because her mom is going to come out to California for her fashion show. So her mom makes a joke saying that her hair has already frizzed up. And Sutton's like, oh, well, we have people for that. We'll take care of you once you get here. Now, I told you guys, when they went to Augusta, I don't need to see Reba back on my screen ever again because I'm still not over the way she treated Garcelle when Garcelle was over there. Just my opinion. And I know a lot of y'all felt the same way too. So now we jump on over to Kyle and Kathy. They're in the car and Kathy's asking Kyle how she's doing. And Kyle says that she's still in shock. She's still processing what happened. She's still shaken up about those pictures with Mauricio and his new girlfriend in Mykonos. So Kyle goes on to say that the other day she was in the car with her friend Jen and her friend saw the pictures first and she knew she had to show Kyle the pictures. So Kyle goes on to say that her friend Jen said that she lost feeling in her legs when she saw those pictures of Mauricio kissing that other woman. And now you have Kathy playing dumb once again and she's like, wait, when your friend saw what? And Kyle says, I'm talking about the pictures of Mauricio and that woman kissing. That is what you asked me about, right? And Kathy says, oh yeah, I was waiting for you to bring it up first. And I said, Kathy, what are you talking about? When you asked Kyle how she was doing, you already know that she would bring this up because this just happened like what, 24 hours ago? With the pictures of Mauricio and the other woman in Greece. So for you to ask again, like that's not what she was talking about, I was confused. And once again, I just get tired of Kathy always playing dumb. Today's recap is sponsored by Verso. As a content creator with a busy schedule and a jam-packed social calendar, and with a birthday on the horizon, with each passing year, I like to invest in my health. I don't want to just look great, I also want to feel great. Recent scientific findings demonstrate that it is possible to not only slow down the aging process, but actually reverse it. That's why I use Cell Being by Verso. It contains ingredients that turn on longevity pathways in your body to help fight the effects of aging, repairing damaged DNA, improving metabolism, boosting NADs, and more. Now, anybody who knows me knows I love vitamins, I love supplements, anything that's going to make me feel great, look great, I'm game. I've been taking Cellbeing for a few weeks now, and I feel amazing. I feel like I have way more energy, whether that's giving you guys back-to-back recaps in one day with my workouts. I just feel like a more enhanced version of myself. Verso publishes third-party testing from each batch produced to guarantee you are getting what you pay for. If you like what you see and you're interested, click the link below in my description box and head on over to Verso, and make sure to use coupon code Brooke at checkout to save 15% on your first order. So now we cut to Kyle's confessional, and she says that she saw the pictures on TMZ just like everybody else did. So she goes on to say that it feels strange because she always thought that this moment would happen in person. She would bump into him at a restaurant, but not like this. Now, in my opinion, I feel like, wouldn't it be a bit more awkward in person? Because at least if you see pictures, you can always close your MacBook. You can, keep scrolling. But if you see your soon-to-be ex-husband out in person with his new woman, you might feel away. It might sting that much more, in my opinion. So I feel like Kyle is better off seeing it plastered all over the magazines and the blogs versus bumping into him with his new girl out and about. So Kyle says, I don't want him to feel guilty because he can do what he wants, but I just feel like, why are you being so irresponsible? Now, Kyle, let me just get you together quickly. Let me give you a quick whacking because, one, where was all this smoke when you were gallivanting around with Morgan? All last season, you guys were out. You were getting matching tattoos. Y'all did that music video together. You guys were taking all those vacations together. You were in Saint-Tropez. You were in Paris. You were in Aspen. You were in Mexico. Like, y'all were traveling the globe, arm in arm, hand in hand. The paparazzi was just snapping away. Wherever you guys were, so were the cameras. So it's okay when you do it, but when Mauricio does it, now it's a problem. Now it's irresponsible. I don't think it's fair to say that. But at the end of the day, you don't really have the right to be angry at Mauricio. You did the same thing. You flaunted Morgan in his face all last year, and now he's getting his lick back. So Kyle goes on to say that she has all these mixed feelings. She's still processing what's happening. And then she goes on to ask herself, does this mean that Mauricio won't be nice to me anymore because of this new person? And I just said, Kyle, girl, I need you to file first. Stop playing around. Stop holding out on hope. Mauricio has moved on. And it's clear that you underestimated how savage men can be when they no longer want you and they have gone on to somebody else. You played a stupid game and now you're winning a stupid prize, and you realize that Mauricio is never coming back. He got a taste of the streets. He's gone, and you need to brace yourself for the fact that his attitude towards you might change. And Miss Mamas, I hate to break it to you, but you sounded delusional when you said that you felt like writing Who's That when you saw the pictures of Mauricio and that woman. I said, Kyle, that's none of your concern. You guys are separated, about to go get divorced. Mauricio has his condo in Beverly Hills. He's out here zipping it and zooing it. He is not thinking about you, Miss Mamas. That's over. The marriage is done. And you even said last season that you told Mauricio that he's free to do whatever he wants to do. And he's doing that. So you cannot question him. Now, this short scene with Erika and her brand new redecorated home, it was a cute scene. Erika, your home looks stunning. This was money well spent. Martin Lawrence Bullard, you did that. Phenomenal job. It's nice to see Erika in better spirits. I thought it was cute to see how giddy and excited Erika was to show her mom. That was adorable. But other than that, I don't have much more to say. So we can just breeze past this scene. So we flip right back to Kyle and Kathy, and they're at the breast center for their mammograms. So we have Kyle filling out Kathy's questionnaire because Kathy forgot her glasses. And one of the questions is asking, is there a family history of breast cancer in the family? And Kyle checks off, yes, our mother. So we find out from Kyle that their mom had not gotten a mammogram in 5 years. And by the time her mom discovered a lump in her breast, it was already stage 4, and then she goes on to add that had her mom been getting regular mammograms, she'd probably still be here today. So they finished their mammograms, and now they're waiting for their results. So as they're waiting, of course, they start talking about Mauricio and this new woman. So Kathy says that after that article came out of Mauricio and this new woman, everybody's not used to seeing that. And then Kyle says, the fact that he knows that I saw it and our 4 daughters saw that, I know he's freaking out right now. I said, Kyle, I understand that your feelings are hurt and your heart is broken and your ego is bruised, but I will bet you money that that man is not freaking out about anything. I think that he is just fine. Respectfully, he is too busy being knee deep in some new cat. So he's not thinking about you and what your daughters think. He's not. And I don't mean to be so crass or whatever, but let's just call a spade a spade. So now you have Kathy talking about, oh yeah, because we all know that Mauricio is a Cancer and he's sensitive and scared and you're the strong one. So Kyle's like, oh yeah, definitely. Now, Kyle, I don't know about you being so strong, because at every single turn we see you breaking down about this separation that's going to be a divorce. The way you're acting about these pictures with Mauricio and this new woman saying, yeah, I wanted to ask who was that? That's not really strong to me. And I'm not saying that you have to be strong in times like this, but I don't think that you're really holding it down the way you think you are. It's no shade, sis, but you don't have to lie to yourself and us. You are visibly hurt, and that's okay. And Kyle, if you're so strong, then why did you say in the next breath, you would think that he would text me and say something about this? And I was thinking, why would he do that? The same way that you felt like you didn't owe Mauricio anything when you were sitting up there running around with Morgan. You had that same defiant attitude then, but now when he does it, now it's, well, I would think that he would call or text me and let me know what's going on. Girl, stop. At the end of the day, Kyle, you overplayed your hand. You thought that Mauricio would come back running to you, and he didn't do that. And now your feelings are hurt and you're crushed and you're upset. When you want to play games like this with somebody that you've been with, you better be careful and you better be prepared for it to backfire in your face and for them to move on. So Kathy also makes a great point that when people are quiet, that tells you everything that you need to know. So Kyle says, well, I know what I need to do right now. And Kathy's like, don't do anything crazy. And we see Kyle grab her phone, get on Instagram, and she says, right now, I'm taking wife out of my bio. Because his bio on Instagram, he took off father and husband a long time ago. And it just says CEO of the agency. I said, damn. I said, not Mauricio took out father. You can't leave that in there? I mean, I understand you and Kyle are divorcing, but you're not divorcing your kids? I was just like, my God. But you see how men do? Now, I did see a few people on Twitter bashing Kyle for doing this, saying that she was being too reactive or petty. And I don't think so at all. Because like she said, why should I have that in my bio when he's taking that out of his bio? And on top of that, he's out here running around with other people who aren't me. So I'm not going to sit up here and look stupid like I'm still holding on to hope when he's already moved on. And if I'm being honest, Kyle, when you were out there running around with Morgan last year, you should have taken out wife then. Now, one thing I can't stand is how women will try to blame the other woman, because you have Kathy saying, I think that this lady doesn't know any better because that picture being taken felt very intentional. And I said, wait, are you trying to say that the woman set the whole paparazzi shot up to make Mauricio look bad? Why are you blaming the woman? And at the end of the day, even if Mauricio or this woman paid the paparazzi to take that picture of them at the airport, nobody can be mad at that. Him and Kyle are no longer together, and Kyle had her fun with Morgan all last season. So fair is fair. But I don't like how Kathy was trying to low-key blame Mauricio's new girlfriend. The hate that Kathy has for Mauricio is really something, because she goes on to say, no offense, it's not like he's Brad Pitt. And then she says, we've heard the rumors for years that he's been cheating, but we've never seen a picture. Nobody's ever come out with any proof. And on top of that, he's not in the financial spot to pay anybody off. And I said, Kathy, I know you don't like the man, but we don't have to lie. Mauricio does have that kind of money where he could pay somebody off. If you look up Mauricio's net worth, I think is $100 or $125 million. Mauricio has the coin.
Bling, bling, bling. Bitches is mad.
Now listen, y'all, I've heard some things. I know people who have said, no, Brooke, those rumors throughout the years of him cheating, allegedly, they are all true, allegedly. But I just say all that to say, never underestimate what some shopping sprees, paid rent, new cars, new bags, American Express being paid, that can buy people silence. I'm just saying, Kathy, Mauricio does have the coin, and I'm pretty sure that a few ladies have been paid off. Their silence has been bought, allegedly. So Kathy's trying to play detective and find out more about the woman, and she says, you know what? Let's find out what she does. So Kyle is over it. She says, honestly, I don't care. Like, just drop it. I don't care about her. I don't want to know anything more about the woman. Like, let's just leave this alone. So Kathy keeps pressing the issue. And I just said, Kathy, it feels like you're trying to pour salt on the wound, because Kyle keeps saying, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this woman. Let's drop it. And for you to keep pressing the issue, it almost feels like Kathy is enjoying this whole situation between Kyle and Mauricio. And with the dynamic that their mother created between the three of them as sisters, there's always been a very competitive nature amongst all of them. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kathy is secretly reveling in the fact that her sister's once perfect marriage is now destroyed. Maybe I'm being too harsh or reading too much into it, but I thought that Kathy's reaction was very telling. The way she kept poking on wanting to find out more about this woman. So now Kathy says, well, clearly Mauricio didn't orchestrate this, but we can find out who did with one ring. And I just feel like at the end of the day, why are y'all so concerned about who staged this picture? Whether Mauricio planned the picture or not, why do y'all care? The point is, that man has moved on and is never coming back. So you finding out if he staged the picture or not is not changing that fact. It's just so dumb to me. I feel like they're focused on the wrong things. Kyle, you need to be focused on getting a divorce lawyer and making sure that you secure the bag and get half of those assets. So now we jump on over to the next scene with Sutton and Garcelle. They're at Sutton's store, and of course they're talking about the fashion show. Sutton is excited, she can't wait. And then on top of that, Garcelle's son Jade is going to be walking in the show too, so she's also excited. So now we find out that Reba might not be able to make it because her flight got canceled due to a tech outage with Delta and American Airlines. So Sutton says that she wants her fashion show to be gorgeous and fun, and then she says that she wants to invite everybody, and then she goes on to ask, should I invite Dorit, yes or no? So Garcelle makes a point that when it comes to Dorit and Sutton, they both jab at each other, and then it bleeds over into other things, and they can never find resolution. Now, Miss Sutton Strack, you know that you don't like Dorit. We know that you don't like Dorit. So asking should you invite her, I feel like, why invite somebody that you can't stand? The way you called her poor in so many ways last week, the week before that, you called her a bitch in her own home. You keep saying that you don't like her. She gets on your nerves. So I'm just thinking, if you want it to be good vibes and only your friends there, then don't invite her. But I know that this is a show, and for drama purposes, you do have to invite your enemies to these events. But personally, if I could not stand somebody where every time I was around them, I was insulting them, I wouldn't invite them. Just my opinion. But Garcelle's like, look, girl, the best way to do it is send a group text to everybody, including Dorit. So now they move on to the whole Kyle and Mauricio drama. And Sutton says, Mauricio, please get your dentures out. That woman is your daughter's age. Like, please stop. Now, I'm not going to hold you. I did chuckle a bit. I said, Sutton, that was pretty funny. But we have to be fair. Kyle was out there playing around with Morgan, who is also in her 20s as well. I think Kyle is 55, 56. Morgan is 27, 28. So I'm like, Kyle and Mauricio are both messing around with folks who are their daughters' ages. So Sutton says that Kyle needs to stop holding on to hope about this pipe dream of Mauricio one day coming back and saying, I made this horrible mistake, because it's not going to happen. Now, Sutton, you've been trying my patience for these last few episodes, but when you're right, you're right. I can always give the girls their 10s when they're due. Kyle is definitely holding on to hope that Mauricio comes back into her arms, and that man is out here enjoying himself with a bevy of other women. He does not want to come home ever again. He's not going to come home ever again. Him and Kyle will be friends going forward. But that ship has sailed. And Kyle, let these pictures be a reminder that your marriage is over. So now we have Dorit and Garcelle meeting up for dinner. And I was shocked. I said, wait, Dorit and Garcelle meeting up? Like, whoa, what's going on? And it was so funny because even Dorit said, well, hell has frozen over because here we are, me and Garcelle meeting up. If you would have told me this 4 months ago, I would have never believed you, but here we are. So Garcelle says that when Dorit apologized to her at Bose's wellness event, she said that it was a step in the right direction and she was willing to move forward. Now, I'm only speaking for myself, but I absolutely love seeing Garcelle and Dorit getting along, going out for dinner, lunch, drinks. I'm here for all of it because I don't know about you, but I was getting real tired of that beef between them. So thank God Dorit apologized, owned up to what she did, and Garcelle accepted it, and they're able to move on. I'm not saying that they have to be best friends. I don't expect that, but I do like seeing them being able to film a scene together. And this scene, in my opinion, was one of the best scenes of the entire episode. So anyhow, they're making small talk. Garcelle's asking Dorit how she's doing, and Dorit says, when it comes to me and PK, we're status quo, and I'm happy. So Garcelle says that she relates a lot to Dorit because when she divorced, her kids were small. And then she goes on to add that a lot of the women in the group lack compassion for Dorit because they keep forgetting that she has small children dealing with this. So Dorit's asking Garcelle how she's doing. Garcelle says, I'm good, I'm busy, can't complain. And then she says, every day there's always something. So one thing about it, Miss Garcelle knows how to push that storyline along, and she likes to have a little gossip. She's like, did you see the pictures of Mauricio the other day of him kissing that other woman? I said, girl, you couldn't wait to talk about this. So Garcelle brings up the latest headline about how Kyle removed wife out of her Instagram bio. So Dorit says, yeah, I feel for her. And then she says, separated or not separated, who the hell wants to see that? So now Dorit goes on to say that if Kyle was even thinking about a reconciliation, has that even happened since these pictures have dropped? And I said, Dorit, I have a quick answer for you. And that answer is, there is no reconciliation. They're done. Mauricio has moved on. So now Garcelle brings up some pictures that were taken a few days ago, Kyle being backstage at one of Morgan's concerts. So she's like, is this Kyle's way of getting back at Mauricio? And I said, yeah, they're both playing tit for tat. Now Kyle wants her lick back again. Garcelle said what we've all been thinking. She said, well, it's not hard to think that Mauricio would not move on, especially seeing what Kyle was doing all last year with Morgan. We saw them doing airport pickups, traveling, hanging out, matching tattoos, that music video. So Mauricio felt like she had her fun, so let me have my fun. And again, that's why I feel like Kyle and Kathy are delusional to feel like Mauricio was irresponsible or what he did was wrong, because she did the same exact thing all last year with Morgan. So now Dorit wants to know if Sutton has talked to Kyle, and she's like, they're close, right? And Garcelle says, yeah, they're pretty close. I'd imagine that they've talked. And then she blurts out, what's your beef with Sutton? So Dorit's like, wait, my beef? Like, I don't have beef with her. Like, what's her deal with me? So now Dorit says that when it comes to Sutton, Garcelle has rose-colored glasses when it comes to Sutton's behavior. So Garcelle's like, no, that's not true. And Sutton's like, oh, really? Well, let's talk about what happened at Caviar Caspia what she said to me was cruel, wasn't it? So we get the flashback of Sutton saying, pick on somebody whose wallet fits.
You picked at me, and I'm sorry. You need to pick on somebody else whose wallet fits.
So Dorit's like, that wasn't cruel. So Garcelle says, you know, you're right. What she said was cruel. It was very mean. Now, I told you guys what I thought about that lazy read last week. I felt like it didn't land because my thing is, if we're going to do money reads, we have to already be talking about money. For you to bring that up out of nowhere, it was like, wait, what? Also, when it comes to reading, you're supposed to be witty. A clever read would have been, girl, don't worry about me. Worry about why that house is in foreclosure since PK left. Had you given us a read like that, that would have hit. But that read about, you know, pick on somebody whose wallet fits, it was a chop for me. It wasn't clever. It wasn't witty. It wasn't giving. It was very stale. But Sutton, I feel like you got torn up at the reunion because you were on Watch What Happens Live right after the episode. And the way you said that you're still coming down from what happened at the reunion and you still needed a few days because it was emotional, I say, yeah, I will not be surprised if Dorit tore you up. And then on top of that, it was the backpedaling, but then doubling down on the read. And then Andy asked you flat out, do you regret saying that about pick on somebody whose wallet fits, yes or no? And then you said, well, no, but like I shouldn't have said that, but I was angry. And it's like, girl, stand in it. Now, Dorit, here's where I have to whack you. Because you tell Garcelle that it would have been refreshing had Garcelle stood up for you in that moment. I got to call you out. Because when Garcelle and Sutton both joined this show, y'all had them on the outs. You were in deep with the Fox Force 5. You, Kyle, Erika, Rinna, Teddy. Y'all were a clique. They were the odd women out. When they were getting it from all sides, you sat back in the cut and watched them get torn to shreds. So for you now to act like Garcelle owes it to you to stand up for you when you're getting read or when your feelings are hurt, ma'am, you might need to fight your own battles. Because the same way that nobody came to Garcelle or Sutton's aid in past seasons, I don't think it's really fair for you to act like Garcelle owes you all this support. Yes, you guys are trying to get back on one accord again. You guys are trying to get back to being friends, not being enemies. But let's start small. Listen, for the most part, I've been on your side this season, but I still have to be honest with you when you try it. So now we cut to Dorit's confessional, and she says that as long as Garcelle is doing Sutton's bidding, they can have nice lunches, but they'll never be close friends. And I said, and Dorit, that's fine. Every connection is not going to lead to a best friendship. Just be happy that you guys are able to film one-on-one scenes together, have a cute little gossip session, have a cute dinner, a cute cocktail, a cute lunch, and call it a day. Now, I thought that Garcelle's slight shade in her confessional was funny because she says, I'm happy that we're in a better place. We can have a cute lunch, but I'll always have one eye open when it comes to Dorit. So I said, at this point, let's keep it here. You guys are friendly. You're social acquaintances, social friends. You're not getting any deeper than that. But let's leave it right here. Let's not try to make it into something more. But I like this relationship. They're cool. They're cordial. They can have some conversation, go out for a drink every now and again, and have a cute one-on-one scene for the viewers. I'm not mad at this arrangement. I thought it was funny because Garcelle's like, well, would you be over all this drama if she gave you a Kelly bag? And Dorit's like, oh yeah, absolutely. I'd be over this in a minute. I said, now Sutton, you have a long-standing relationship with the folks at Hermes. Go ahead and call them up and send over a brand new Kelly bag for Dorit. So that way you guys can start off on a fresh page. And I love how Dorit low-key has no shame in her game. She's like, you know what? You can low-key buy me over. Like, you know what? Buy me a bag and we'll be cool. And I'm not mad at it. I love a gift too. All right? If an enemy wants to give me a brand new Chanel purse or an Neiman Marcus gift card, I think we could actually work it out. I would be open to forgiveness and we can be cool. So now we get to the day of Sutton's fashion show, and Sutton and Avi arrive to the hotel. They're setting up, and we see that there's a walkthrough with all the models before the show starts. So now we find out from Sutton that not only is she excited, but she has the creme de la creme of the fashion world coming to her fashion show. She has Vogue coming, Women's Wear Daily, celebrities, and buyers. So now we see everybody getting glam for the big night. And now we cut to Sutton and her daughter Porter at home. They have the glam squad there. And Sutton is on FaceTime with her mother, Reba. Unfortunately, Reba was unable to attend because of the whole tech outage that happened with Delta and American Airlines. So she says that Reba was at the airport for like 13 hours trying to rebook her flight. So she ended up having to go back home.
Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
So now it's finally time for the fashion show. We pull right back up to the hotel. Everybody's arriving. Sutton arrives. Now, Miss Sutton, I know I get on you about the frumpy fashions, but this dress, I said, okay, Sutton, come on, give us the back out. You know, it was giving us a little bit of, you know, something. I said, all right, come through. A few of y'all got mad at me, talk about, oh, why does Sutton have to be sexy? Who do you think you are to say that? And my response to you is, this is my channel and my opinion. And I'm tired of seeing Sutton in these grandmother fashions. And she's what, in her early 50s at that? She's the same age as Erika. Yeah, I always forget that too. But just my opinion, I want to see Sutton sex it up a bit, spice it up, give me something. But yes, that back, I said, come through, Sutton, give us a little back out. Because Lord knows I get tired of seeing her with those big sweaters with a little kitty cat on them, or she has some poodle skirt on. So we see Garcelle arrive, then we see Kyle. Kyle, that white suit, chef's kiss. But Kyle, you did try it, talking about no press. I don't want to talk to them. I said, Kyle, you are not an A-list celebrity. So be happy for whatever press you can get. And then for you to say, I don't want to talk about my separation or Mauricio and that woman. I just said, yeah, girl, you are big mad about Mauricio moving on. But we see Bose, Jennifer Tilly, Erika's there with her mom. And now we see Dorit pull up. Now Dorit, Miss Mamas, for you to say, am I going to get an apology with this invitation, or am I just here to fill a seat? I said, Dorit, this is Sutton's night. I can assure you that Sutton is not going to apologize to you on her special night. So let the dream go of an apology. Maybe you'll get it later on, but not tonight. You're already here. You might as well put a smile on your face, enjoy the drinks, enjoy the hors d'oeuvres, and call it a day. So now we see Kyle and Dorit off to the side. They're talking about the pictures that hit TMZ with Mauricio and his new girlfriend. And Dorit's like, how are you doing? And Kyle says, I'm doing all right. I'm better today. And then she brings up how TMZ posted that article of how Kyle went to Morgan's concert the next day to make Mauricio jealous. And Kyle's like, really, TMZ? If I want to make him jealous, I'd be doing a lot more than that. So then she says, the gag is Mauricio doesn't even get jealous. And I said, Kyle, the fact that Mauricio is not the jealous type, that shows me right there that you played a stupid game all last year with Morgan. All this did was further solidify Mauricio being over you and crawling into the arms of somebody else. Baby, you really messed up. But Kyle says that Mauricio did text her an apology. And Dorit's like, yeah, have some discretion. Where was all this energy for Kyle and Morgan? There was no discretion shown all last season. So why does Mauricio have to show discretion? Because Kyle's feelings are hurt? Kyle, you need to grow up, take the L on the chin. You lost, mama, but you're a beautiful woman. You can find somebody else. You'll be okay. But I don't think it's fair for you to act like he needs to have some discretion or he owes you an apology. Did you give him an apology when you were sitting up there scissoring Morgan last year, allegedly? Like, stop. So now Kyle throws some shots at the other woman, And she says, I will say, I do think it's a bit weird because I know that Mauricio did not stage those pictures, but I can't say the same about the woman he was with. And I said, either way, whether Mauricio or the woman staged those pictures, at the end of the day, Mauricio has moved on and does not want you anymore. So who really cares about who did what? The point of the matter is, it's time for you to move on. So mind you, the show is about to start, everybody's seated, and Sutton, let me give you your 10s because you had a packed house. There was not an empty seat. I said, I know that's right. And she must have had about 300 people in attendance. So of course, all the housewives are in the front row, and we hear Kathy saying that she's gonna go backstage and ask Sutton if Dorit could be the MC for the fashion show. So Kyle's confused and she's like, you're gonna do what? Like, what are you talking about? And Kathy's like, well, I just feel like have Dorit narrate the fashion show because she loves fashion. So I'm thinking, Kathy, this is what I'm talking about. You know good and damn well that Dorit and Sutton don't like each other. They're on the outs right now. So why would you even suggest that? Kathy, you've been to New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week. When do you see an MC at a fashion show? This isn't a fashion show at the mall. What are we talking about here? And let's just say that Sutton did want an MC for her fashion show. Don't you think that she would have hired one? And when Kathy got up to go backstage, they were all like, oh my gosh, what is she doing? Where is she going? And Kyle, for you to say, you know, I can't control her. She's just my sister. I understand that, but let's be so for real. If our sibling is about to show their ass, a good sibling says, girl, sit your ass down. We're not doing this today. And sometimes siblings need to check each other. And my sister is younger than me, but my sister does not play with me, okay? She will check me quickly. Honey, she has me gagged all the time, all right? She lets me know when I'm doing too much. So had I pulled a move like that, my sister would have said, nope, sit down, stop. Kathy, you sounded so dumb when you got in front of Sutton talking about, oh, would you like Dorit to be the MC? Sutton was like, wait, what? I don't need an MC. Sutton was so annoyed. She was like, what are you talking about? She was like, this is not the 1950s. I don't need an MC. And since when do you see an MC at a fashion show anyway? So now Kathy turns back around to go to her seat. And mind you, the show is about to start. So Kathy is taking forever and a damn day to sit her ass down. We see her shaking hands with Erika's mom, and now the show has officially began. And one of the models is walking, and Kathy is talking and standing in the way. And I said, now what if the model have fallen into the pool because of Kathy standing there? I was so irritated, and I love how the model low-key swatted Kathy out the way. I said, exactly. I was just too done. If I were Sutton, I would have had a security guard escort Kathy out, because how dare you? This is another display of privilege, because Kathy Hilton is 65, 66. She knows better, but it's still seen as fun and whimsical because she's a white woman with some money. A black woman Kathy's age could never get away with those kind of antics. They would be ripped to shreds. It's not right, and I've grown exhausted of Kathy and this whole act of she's so oblivious and so childlike. No, she's not. She's a very calculated and shrewd attention seeker, because that's what this was, attention seeking. And it wasn't cute and it wasn't funny. And I didn't crack a smile one time. Sit your narrow behind down. And Kathy, let me sit up here and whack you again.
I'm just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me.
Because I didn't forget how you did Tiffany Haddish at last year's New York Fashion Week. You dared Tiffany to walk on the runway as the show is going on. If that wasn't bad enough, the designer got on Instagram to blast Tiffany Haddish and pretty much said that she will never be invited to one of his shows again. But I see you for who you are, Kathy, and I've grown real tired of this whole dumb blonde act. And Lord knows that if you held a fashion show and somebody did that, you'd have them blackballed. And Kathy, that excuse that you gave on the after show, I said, girl, please save it for somebody else. Because you were talking about, oh yeah, I did that because I wanted to say hello to Erika's mother. You can say hello to her after the show is over. So anyhow, all the models come out. Everybody looks good. I loved how everybody was cheering for Jade when he came out. Garcelle was so happy to see her son. And then she brings up how her first runway show was Calvin Klein. The shade that was being thrown in the confessionals, Erika was like, do I see Sutton winning the CDFA award? No, but I do applaud her. Then we see a producer asking Dorit what does she think of the show. Dorit didn't even answer. She said, no comment. Dorit was like, just be happy that I showed up. I don't have anything else to say besides that. So now the show is over. Sutton gives a quick speech and she's like, my daughter Porter is here and I hope that she's proud of me. And then she mentions how her mom wasn't able to make it, but she thinks that if her mom were here, her mom would be proud. So now she thanks everybody for coming. And now we see all the women coming up to Sutton, congratulating her on her show. And Sutton does say that for all her friends to congratulate her, it feels authentic and it feels great. And then she goes on to say that this group inspires her in so many ways and she's proud to call them her friends, even Dorit. And then we see them take a group picture and that's the end of the episode. Now again, it was a cute episode, nothing major happened, but I will say, I am excited for next week's episode because next week they're going on their cast trip to St. Lucia. That trip looks like it's gonna be lit. But y'all, that was my recap. Thank you all so much for watching and you already know what to do. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and I will see you all later. Bye.